Well, the Pen and Pencil Club was actually a national club, and different cities had them. Columbus's was started in 1897. It was a place of meeting, a place of exchanging ideas and critiques for artists who really, not until the 20th century and even later, mid-20th century, were there institutions and art schools where artists could do this. Most of the pen and pencil clubs had reception rooms, or they would, many of the artists would share studios, because it was also, sort of expensive for an artist to try to find a room for a studio, so they often shared studio space behind their reception room. They met once a week to paint together or to sketch together. They could sort of all go in and hire a model, which, if you were on your own, you couldn't do. The Columbus Pen and Pencil Club included illustrators, it included commercial artists, it included fine artists. Many of the artists who taught at OSU were members of it, and artists who worked outside of that institution. However, it was always only men, which was pretty common, sort of the men's club of the turn of the century. Some of the more important or well-known members of the Pen and Pencil Club are George Bellows. Billy Ireland, as I said, it was both cartoonists and illustrators and painters. Carl Springer, who was quite active and very supportive of different groups, and also Con Baker.
Con is a real Renaissance man in the making. He's obsessed with daredevils. He's obsessed with speed. He becomes one of the first bicycle champions in the era of safety bicycles. And then the entrepreneur in him kicks in. How can I make money doing this? He stitches together this velveteen red costume of a devil, even with the little ears up above. He becomes the first person to actually perfect a loop-de-loop on a bicycle. People have tried it, they've died because the bicycle has gone so far in the loop and it's fallen and they've broken their necks.
Con Baker married Laura Calvert, a young woman he met in India, and eventually they settled down in the University District neighborhood. He purchased an 1804 log cabin built by David Beers and moved it from its original home near Arcadia and High to his property northeast of the Ohio State University around 1904.
He originally had bought this cabin to paint in, he and his brother. He also liked this location because at that time it was farmland, it was extremely rural. And right out here, what's now the alley, was a cow path. So sometimes they would ask a farmer if they could borrow a cow and waltz it right into the house and paint the cow here.
And it just becomes this, this wonderful art studio where these great things are happening.
Part of the artist's culture and artistic tradition at the time was that you would go outside as a group, particularly in the summer. And so many of these artists would go to the Beers cabin, and again, it'd be like a weekend, you'd get out and do a guy thing, but it would include sketching. So you would go out for the day and you would sketch out in plein air, as they would say, or the French would say. So outside, sometimes painting direct from nature, sometimes just sketching, but then you would come in at the end of the day and critique each other's works. There was an appreciation for that sort of roughing it, artist being sort of bohemian. And so Beers Cabin was one of those sort of favorite popular spots for them to go and then, paint the landscape around it.
The Pen and Pencil Club continued to meet and create artwork until 1942 when the organization disbanded.